Welcome to Public Safety Talk Radio, the podcast for all of our heroes in public safety, including law enforcement professionals, firefighters, EMTs, corrections officers, healthcare workers, and more. The show is proud to be a part of the growing National Police Podcast Network. This episode is sponsored by Police Mortgage. Police Mortgage is a full-service mortgage company dedicated to serving police officers and first responders. Founded in 2008, Police Mortgage offers a variety of mortgage products tailored to meet the needs of those who serve and protect. Police Mortgage, for first responders who are second to none. Hi, I'm Ken Bator, your host for Public Safety Talk Radio, here with a special holiday edition to wish all first responders and their families a terrific, happy holiday, especially a safe holiday, and to let you know from my heart how much I appreciate all of you working during Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, New Year's, even past Thanksgiving already, but thank you for working Thanksgiving too, to keep us all safe. It is not unnoticed, and it certainly is not unappreciated, and I wish you and your families a safe holiday season. Wish all of you a great 2026, and also want to simply say thank you, because it's a gift to me if you're watching this video on YouTube or listening to this podcast episode and more episodes on our different stations, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, so on and so forth. So I appreciate your listenership and viewership. Always want to hear from you. And before I close out, I want to do a shout out from one of the gifts that I sent this year. And by the way, if you're on video, you know that I'm wearing my little Bears Santa hat. Go Chicago Bears. Hopefully we make the playoffs this year for the first time in a long time. But here to have a little fun. One of the gifts that I have given to friends and family this year is, in essence, a book pack. Now, there's been a few different book packs that I have sent to a couple different people, but one in particular, people that are either fellow first responders, or in one case, I had a family member who, doesn't necessarily support police officers the way that I do, and wanted to make sure that, that we took care of some of the naivete and gave them a little bit of a reality check. Because sometimes just watching CNN isn't going to give you the full picture, but talking to police officers that are out there or have been out there who know the real world is usually a good thing to expose those folks to. Plus, it helps out some great officers, some great authors. So these are 5 books that I have sent to people this year for Christmas, and I want to give a shout out. One of my favorites is Storefront Sting, written by Lou Valoze and Brian Whitney. Great book, easy read, very short. I personally like, and all of these books are based on true stories, of course, and true accounts. But I personally like the story of the canine that rightfully bit the right person instead of the wrong person. If you read that book, you'll know what I'm talking about. A little bit of a longer read, but still very good, is Relentless Courage, which is written by Mike Sugrue and Shauna Doc Springer. Really dives into mental health after a traumatic episode. I strongly suggest this. Michael is a great speaker as well. I encourage you to look him up if you're looking for a speaker for a first responder related conference. possibly my favorite of the 5 that I'm going to mention, Rescuing 911, written by Randy Sutton, who I consider a good friend and is the founder of the Wounded Blue, as a recent addition to their board and current board member of the Wounded Blue. I highly recommend Rescuing 911, The Fight for America's Safety, especially to folks that may not have the affinity for police officers that we do. I think it's a great reality check of what is really going out there in the world. Another fun read is Giovanni's Ring, Inside the Real Sopranos, great book by Giovanni, Rocco, and Douglas Schofield. A great dive into what undercover work is really like. Some great insight there, and also some interesting, funny stories that are based in reality. If you are a mob enthusiast, I highly encourage you to get that book. And last, but certainly not least, is Facing Evil, written by some good friends of mine, Scott Brown and Victoria M. Newman. Many of you know that I was privileged to be the producer and part of the team that brought this book, Facing Evil, a cop story of murder, mayhem, and the aftermath, into a podcast, which is available on all platforms. So I encourage you to get the book and listen to the Facing Evil podcast. It's unfortunate that Scott Brown lost his partner and that another officer was killed in that particular account. But I think it's important that we tell that story, not for a grandiose type of a story for the police officers that did so much great work, although they deserve it, but to really dig into what a traumatic event does to the officer, their families, and all of their friends and colleagues. So don't want to end on a rather dark note, but all great books, all that I highly recommend. I encourage you to buy them and share them as gifts. It helps out the people you give them to and helps out the authors that wrote them. But I'll close with the way that I started, wishing all of you a very safe and very happy and warm holiday season. And we'll be back with you next week with another great guest from Public Safety Talk Radio. Public Safety Talk Radio is produced by Bator Training and Consulting. Public Safety Talk Radio is also proud to be a part of the growing National Police Podcast Network. The National Police Podcast Network is a dedicated media network powered by the National Police Federal Credit Union, developed in partnership with experienced podcast professionals and public safety advocates. Learn more about the National Police Federal Credit Union at nationalpolicefcu.com.